Well, hello friends, it's Wayne Polson coming to you from Heartwood, right next door to SM Heartland, still in the same old place. Folks, it's great to see you, even though I can't really see you, but I know you're there. Today, folks, I'm just going to do something very simple, but maybe for first-time homeowners or people who have never had to deal with it before and suddenly find themselves faced with this task, I'm going to go ahead and just do this simple video. I'm going to replace this filter right here. Now, this filter is a whole house filter. It filters the incoming water from our well. We have a 320-foot well, and it's dirty, folks. As you can see, the sediment that's collected here is evidence of that. And the last time I changed this filter was April. I should be changing it every 2 months, so I'm behind. So I'm going to go ahead and change the filter. It's important to know, though, that this filter doesn't protect you from disease. This just gets junk out of the water, like iron, rust, dirt, sand, whatever might be floating around in your water that's a large particle size. As a matter of fact, this filter filters up to 25 microns, or I should say down to 25 microns. So that's it's pretty small, but most pathogens that can cause illnesses are quite a bit smaller than that. I mean, we're talking about 0.02 microns, 0.03 microns, some even down into the nanometer range. So this is not a solution for protecting your health. It just, like I said, it keeps your toilets clean, keeps particles from floating around in your system. I'll talk more about the drinking water issue. If you want to get down to filtering your drinking water, I have a different system up underneath the sink. It's a reverse osmosis system, RO system, and it's a 4-stage system. There are various types of systems out there ranging in price. Mine is 4-stage. A 5-stage is, of course, better filtration, but I'm finding that, for everything that I'm concerned about for our health, this 4-stage filter does an excellent job. So, all right, here, let's get down to it. So, I'm fortunate to have a system here. This was installed by, I don't know, maybe the previous homeowner or the first homeowner. There have been 2 owners before me. They did a nice job of putting this system in. We have a water softening system over here that's plumbed in, and we have our holding tank here, our pressure tank. Everything's right here. We have a pressure gauge. We can monitor the house pressure right here. Now, I'm not going to go into what all this is because it is pretty detailed, but I'm going to show you that right here is the important part. We have water coming in this way and water going out that way. As a matter of fact, if you were to look at the top of this filter housing, you'd see that this is marked in and this is marked out. So what we're going to do right now, since nobody's taking showers, nobody's running the faucet, I'm going to go ahead and turn the water inlet off, and I'm also going to turn the water outlet off. So that means that right now, trapped between these 2 valves right here is some static pressure that we have to get rid of. So you want to take a bucket with you, and there's a pressure relief valve up here. I'm going to go ahead and just gently press that, and water will seep out of there. Now the pressure has been equalized here, and it's safe to remove this filter. I've got a filter wrench handy here, and this filter wrench has these little cogs in it that will pick up these little cogs on the filter housing. And it's important when you put these filters on that you only put it on tight enough to seal it and not gorilla tight, okay, because you'll have a lot of trouble getting it off. And so I'm going to go ahead and just loosen this filter. Just like that. There we go. We're pretty free. I'm going to go ahead and hang my wrench up. I'm going to take the filter out, keeping a bucket underneath it because it's going to spill water. And there we go. Filter is out. So folks, this is the used filter. As you can see, it's pretty discolored compared to this brand new one right here. Okay, so I'm going to discard this, and I'm left now with just this plastic housing and an O-ring. Now what I do on these O-rings, every time I replace it, I make sure that there's a good coat of silicone grease on it. This will keep the O-ring pliable, and it'll make it last a whole lot longer. So I'm going to apply some of that in a little bit here. For now I'm just going to hang it there. But I want to go ahead and wash this out. I'll wash this out and I'll come back to the camera in just a few minutes. Alright, some of you may be wondering why or how I was able to wash this out with the water turned off in the house. It's because the other side of this pipe right here runs on up to another system that feeds the outdoor spigots. We don't filter the outside water, so that water just comes out raw. So I just rinse this out. I'm just going to wipe it down and get it ready to put back in place. Now, for the O-ring, I'm going to take the O-ring, I'm going to go ahead and just wipe it down. And I've got some silicone grease here. You can get it at any big box store in the plumbing aisle. And I'm just going to put a light coat of that over the O-ring. This also helps to make to keep a consistent seal as well. So, good thing to do. It'll save you some trouble in the future. Alright, so now I'm going to put this O-ring right there. I'm just going to see if I can set that off to the side here a little bit. I'm going to unwrap my new filter. Make sure to take all of this labeling off. Okay, there's no in and out to this. You can put it this side facing upward or this side facing upward. It doesn't matter. Now, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put this filter in here. There are like some little fingers inside this housing that will hold the filter in place. And then very carefully line this up. Now it looks like my filter fell off, so I'm going to try this one more time here. There's also a hole, by the way, in the bottom here. Alright, so you want to make sure that hole lines up with the hole in the bottom of the filter. There you go. So now that it's hand tight, I'm going to go ahead and get my filter wrench out. I'm going to go a little tighter. Just about like that. Folks, that's it. It's installed. We're ready to go ahead and turn on the pressure. So I'll turn the inlet on. Watch for leaks. I'm just going to wipe things down here so that I can see if there aren't any leaks. And I don't see any water forming at the bottom here, nothing dripping down the sides. We're good to go now. If something should happen like that, if it's a gross problem, it's going to be spraying out, folks. So we know we've got it installed properly. It just may not be tight enough. So sometimes if you get a little stream of water coming down here, it just means you got to give it another little crank with the wrench. But again, I'm good. I'm not going to go too tight with it. I have no leaks. So there we go. Okay, I'm going to open up the house side, or I should say the water softener side. And now we're back to normal operation. All right, so the only thing I need to do now is I'm going to go ahead and update my labeling here. And since I put this on with a Sharpie, it's kind of hard to remove. You can use a magic eraser, that helps pretty good. Be careful with chemicals. This is acetone, and acetone will eat plastics, so go sparingly with it. I'm going to try to remove it with that. See how good we do. A little bit more on a fresh area here. Oh yeah, we're looking good enough to put a new label over that. And let's see, what is today's date? It's the end of July. I'm going to go ahead and put August 1st on here. So it's going to be 8/1/24. And that's all I got to say about that, folks. I know this, for some of you, this is probably old hat. You could do this blindfolded with your hands tied behind your back. I'm sure you could do that. But for some people out there, you might need to know this, so this is for you folks, okay? If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, please. Give me a like. If you have anything to say, please put it in the comments. I'd love to hear your comments. And if you're not a subscriber, I'd really like to have you on board with this channel. I'm into all kinds of stuff. You never know where I'm going from one video to the next. Honestly, just ask my subscribers. So that's about all I have to say. You guys be kind out there in your neighborhood. Be kind in your families. Be kind to people who you don't even like, okay? I'll see you in another video. Over and out. Oh yeah, I remembered just now that I was going to tell you a little bit more about my RO system under the sink. So really, I have a holding tank in the basement here that is the output side of that RO system. So this holding tank holds pressurized filtered water so that we can use as much of it as we need to, as much as that small holding tank will allow. I forget how many gallons it is. It might be 25 gallons or something like that. It might even only be 10 gallons. The point being, though, that we do have a supply of filtered water at our hands whenever we need it. So we have the RO system feeding a little auxiliary spigot on the, or faucet, if you will, on the sink. That's only filtered water there. The regular tap is coming off of this filter, so it's not really potable water. The RO system also feeds our ice maker, and we have a water dispenser in our refrigerator that gets RO water, and it's very good to drink. It tastes great. That's about all I can say about that. But we don't filter anything going to the bathroom or the showers or the commodes. That's all on the output of this filter here. And by the way, a lot of times you can tell when this filter is ready to be replaced because you start to see rings in your toilet bowl or browning of your toilet bowl in general. It's time to replace this filter right here. Some people might have it so bad you might have to get a second stage filter and even more. I'm not going to get into all that, that's not the purpose. But right now, just keep your filters replaced if you have them in your house. It'll save you a headache, and you just need to do it. That's all I got to say about that. I'm done. Over and out.